Thank you for staying with us. The COVID-19 pandemic has exposed the inequality around the world. Most of the developed countries are on track to vaccinate their citizens, while the Sub-Saharan countries are going to miss the targets. The United Nations Children Emergency Fund, UNICEF, has partnered with the private sector and different personalities on a campaign to raise millions of COVID-19 vaccine doses for poor communities in Africa. UNICEF Chief of Communications, James Alder, and international actress Nomzamo Mbatha spoke to our foreign editor, Sophie Mokoena.
Well, we're part of the biggest rollout of vaccines in human history. I mean, we're all living through a crisis, which is unfortunately also been the darkest for our generation, for everyone's generation. So UNICEF is part of the biggest rollout of vaccines you've ever seen. That means buying the vaccines, that means supplying them, that means getting them on the tarmac, that means, working with organisations like the Cotton On Foundation to get them into the arms of mums, dads, health workers, teachers, frontline workers. So this is a 24/7 job, but suddenly these vaccines gave us some light at the end of the tunnel. What UNICEF and organisations like Cotton On are trying to do is to make sure that everyone sees a bit of this light.
Let's look at perhaps partnerships. It is very important for the world to work together, and not only at government level, but also private sector. Can you tell us more about the partnership with Cotton On?
Yeah, look, you're spot on. As I say, the world's never seen a crisis like this. No one has ever endured it from every single corner, from Joburg to Seattle, from London to Nairobi. So it's not just about governments right now. We know mums and dads and governments are stretched. The private sector has a huge role to play. And then we have organisations like Cotton On, and this is the first global retailer to come to an organisation like the UN Children's Fund and say, we want to help. We want to put our money where our mouth is. We want to, use investment for our company to make sure that that those people we reach through our stores, everyday people, across, as I say, frontline workers, are supported. And that's what Cotton On is doing. They're a leader. We need many more companies like them to follow suit. But right now, they are setting the standard in terms of how to make sure big companies help everyday people.
Nomzamo, you are involved in this good initiative, but can you briefly tell us how did you get involved?
Well, my relationship started with Cotton On Foundation about 2 years ago when we collaborated in launching eThekwini Primary School, which is in Kwamashu. Cotton On Foundation has done such incredible work, not only just in the continent, but in South Africa alone. What they do in terms of the education space, in terms of supporting teachers and supporting school children is absolutely incredible. They have programs that are running in Uganda, so many vulnerable communities across the African continent and across the world. And so for me, it was an easy decision, obviously, to move from that portfolio of education into the portfolio of vaccine equity, which is a huge global conversation right now. And I don't think we could have found a better partner than to support UNICEF, as, of course, they have such incredible work that they've done across the globe, especially to vulnerable communities.
For people who are watching right now, how can they get involved, Nomzamo?
I believe in the power of collaboration. So many people always ask me, Nomzamo, you do such huge work. How do we support? And I believe in the power of the small rivers that lead to the big ocean. And so for us, we are rallying people to go out into the stores, Cotton On stores globally, wherever you are. If there's a Cotton On store, and you will find the Cotton On Foundation products. Those are tote bags, those are t-shirts, those are masks, waters, tissues, sanitizers. Buy those products, because those proceeds, 100% of them go towards the Cotton On Foundation, and you will be absolutely surprised as how far those proceeds go in terms of assisting us as a Cotton On Foundation to do the work that we need to do. But most importantly, with this particular campaign that support program that we are doing with UNICEF, they have until the 4th of July. We have tote bags that are written human and kind, which is a play on words on humankind. We have t-shirts that say in it together, because we are truly all in it together. No, very COVID doesn't stop existing for anyone until it stops existing for everyone. So we can't say we're moving forward if so many are being left behind. So you have until the 4th of July to go into the Cotton On stores and support us by buying Cotton On Foundation products.
No one is safe until we are all safe. James, can
Absolutely.
you briefly tell us how can people access more information about this wonderful project?
Go into a store, because I've seen the same in my native Australia. There's no one better to explain what Cotton On is doing than those people behind the counter. They're pretty inspiring. They know their stuff and they have a love for the product, but they have a love for the foundation and for people they're helping. But of course, Cotton On has a website. Get on Cotton On. You'll see it on the homepage. Get on unicef.org. Also, just to learn about COVID, because this vaccine is a game changer, but we are going to keep having to social distance. We're going to keep having to wear masks. We're going to keep having to rally around each other as a community. As Nomzamo said, we're going to have to keep making sure that about equity, looking after those people who aren't on the same social rung as us. This is about this vaccine. This pandemic is not over for anyone until it's over for everyone.
Yeah. Nomzamo, let's look at the issue of Africa. It is Africa Day. I'm sure you have a message for Africans on the continent and South Africans during this difficult time. What is your message?
My message is simple. I don't think that I would have been the most layered human, the most strongest human, the most culturally diverse human if I was not born and raised on the African continent. As much as we can look back and see how far, or look forward and see how far we have yet to go, let us as Africans look back and see how far we have come. We are the most resilient people on this planet Earth. Happy Africa Day, everyone.
And to both, do you think we'll meet this deadline and the target of raising 1 million doses?
It is done. It is already done. The pledge has been made. I know that it is already in the works. We have proven time and time again. I mean, we raised $10 million in the beginning of the year just selling masks as the Cotton On Foundation. And so I know that this goal that we have for 1 million vaccine doses is already done. This is just to raise awareness to everyone who wants to play their part. It is absolutely important for us to be a global community. This pandemic was not the greatest equalizer, as people wanted to dub it. It lifted the lid of invisibility. And so it's not about sitting back. It is a collaborative effort. So no one should be rallying and saying, we are ready to go outside. We're not ready to go outside until vaccine equity is the global morality test that we pass as a global community. And well done to James. As a kudos to him and his team at UNICEF. I think this is a great collaboration, and it's awesome. And I think it's going to rally all the other agencies to truly speak to private sector and let them come to the forefront. This is awesome.
A final word from you, James. Are you optimistic? Are you sure you are going to meet the aim and the objective?
Yeah, I get a chill down my spine when I listen to people like Nomzamo and when I listen to Cotton On. They're the real deal. They really care. And that's why we need more foundations like this. Yeah, I'm optimistic. The scientists have been incredible. A private company like Cotton On is adding that addition. We just now need every other citizen, as vaccines become available, get vaccinated. Science has done wonders. Get vaccinated. And as we wait for them to roll out, keep social distancing, keep those kids in school, wear your masks, and we will get through this together, as Nomzamo says, as governments, as companies like Cotton On and organisations like UNICEF are always going to be there for kids.